Okay, everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to be talking about the God energy today, what it is, and how the elites harness it, and how you can begin to build it for yourself. So first of all, let's go over what the God energy is. So it's been referred to as many things: the God energy, infinite will, endless attack. There's a lot of things that it is referred to as. It all essentially means the same thing. Does it mean you're going to become a god and rule over all that is? No, there's only one God, and He's in heaven, who's above all of creation. Doesn't matter what it is. Um, that's not what that means. It means that it's a state of being. So for those of you out there that think that you have superiority complex and you're a narcissist and all that, you might want to put yourself in check. Just saying. So basically, what it is the ability to through strategy, control of emotions, intellect, and discipline to be able to put things in motion, essentially on a never-ending path that literally just goes on forever. I've told you guys about this thesis before. There is only ever a beginning, there is no end, right? I've told you about this. Most people think of things in linear, measured terms. I don't think like that. Okay, I think of it just goes on forever. It never ends. You know, training will go on for years, decades, even. It's not going to end. The money making will go on for decades. It never ever ends. It just keeps going. Okay. That's the first key. Once you learn to think like this, you begin to understand what the God energy is, or infinite will. We'll just refer to it as that. Um, and I can give you guys a few good examples of that. I'm one of those kind of people that you don't see it. You know, I work full time, 8 hours a day, but outside of that, I'm working another 8 hours a day doing other stuff, including bringing this content to you guys on multiple levels. Okay. But those, you know, like CEOs are a good example of people who have harnessed the God energy. Um, you know, they work obscene hours. They work like 190, 100, 110 hour work weeks. And these guys, I mean, granted, they make, you know, 5, 10, $20 million a year, but they're also suffering for it. You know, they have no time, no life, all that stuff. They're constantly busy just building, 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 building. It's a never ending process. It's not for most people. Most people want to go out there and live their lives and do their thing. They're not willing to do this. It's understandable. Um, but if you really truly want to become the greatest of the greats at what you do, you have got to be willing to dig into yourself and do just th- get to a level, whether it's physically or otherwise, monetarily, whatever the case may be, intellectually, to a level that nobody else can touch. Okay, where there is no competition, you are the greatest at what you do, and there's no one that can compete with you. And if you're not, you're up there in terms of the top echelon, pretty close to the top, right? Even if you're not the top guy. So a couple examples of this, people that do this, is somebody like Andrew Tate, Top G. You can take a look at their stories, their biographies, and their life. You'll see what I mean. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, right before he got reelected as president, you guys saw how the Democrats were trying to witch hunt him, bankrupt him, control him, all that kind of nonsense. And whatever they tried to do to him, he just ended up brushing it off and increasing his, you know, his family's financial wealth. And every opportunity that they tried to use to screw him over, he ended up expanding as a result. So he turned the negative that they tried to bring into good. This is the power of the God will if you can learn to harness it. And he worked endlessly and tirelessly through all the crap they put him through right up until the day of his election, and he has not stopped since. So if you can learn to do this and harness this on a consistent basis, I can't guarantee it, but there is a very, very high likelihood you guys will become extremely powerful. Okay? You will become an unstoppable force of nature, and there will be no one that can get in your way that can stop you from doing what you want to do, albeit, you know, you're not breaking laws or anything like that, right? Use common sense. So some of the things that I'll get into deeper in later videos will be things like um, the different aspects of energy and how to control it, how to use it, how to prolong it, how to conserve it, how to regenerate it, all that kind of stuff. I will also talk about mental fortitude and how to build an extremely powerful and strong-willed mind, how to become a very highly intellectual person, capable of expanding your intellect basically day after day after day after day in multiple different fields, multiple different aspects of society and of creation. This is all of these things are separate that I'm pointing out to you guys. The energy is separate. The physical fortitude, the mental fortitude is all separate. Okay. And then emotional intelligence being able to control your emotions, not allowing yourself to get easily angered by the things, taking a step back and saying, okay, what's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? Learning to become observant instead of becoming opinionated. Okay, there's a lot of opinionated people out there that love to run their mouth and talk a bunch of shit and all that kind of stuff, and I'm aware of that, okay? But learning to control that and look at a situation and say, okay, is it really worth my time and energy? Do I need to give any output to this? Does this even matter? Is it relevant to what I'm trying to do? You know, asking yourself all these questions are extremely important. And this is stuff that I've learned to develop over many, many years. It has not been a quick overnight process, okay? This is going to take time, dedication, and effort. And in subsequent videos, I'll break all this down for you, but it's not easy. If it was easy, I would not have spent nearly the last decade trying to master all of these things, okay? And you don't necessarily have to be extremely ultra wealthy or powerful or even high level status to do this. You can do this from nothing. You can do this from scratch. If you're just some base level employee with a, you know, maybe $500 in your pocket, you know, you're not ripped. You don't have a lot of muscle. Okay. You don't have a great deal of stamina. You're not very intelligent. Maybe you don't even know how to read. Okay. You can still learn to do this from nothing. I can tell you as a living testament of somebody who has done it himself, you have the capacity to learn to do this. Now, if there's some kind of if you have some kind of physical impairment or something like that, that's different. Obviously, you can only do what you can do with the abilities that God's given you, right? But anyways, so this is the God energy. I will go over the different facets of how to tap into it and what it is, but it's essentially infinite will that allows you to continue to do things over and over and over. I can tell you guys right now, you know, I've been operating on 5 to 6 hours of sleep, working between 12 to 16 hour days for years at this point. Before the finance channel even came up, before we even started talking about this stuff, going over TA, going over crypto, before I even got to a point where most people would consider me to be successful financially and otherwise, okay? Even before I got to that point, I was indoctrinating this God energy, as it were. So anyways, we'll talk about this in a different video later, y'all. Love, peace, and blessings, and see y'all later. Out.